All right, you guys, thank you for tuning in again. This is the Nutty Professor, and this is a continuation on the introductory series. I have probably just a couple episodes left, and then I think you guys will be pretty much caught up with me. So I really should have included um, this next person. I really should have included them in the last the last video that I did with Walter Lee Hampton, but I didn't. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put him in this video, and that is going to be Dr. Joy DeGrew. Dr. Joy DeGrew, she came up with what's known as the post-traumatic slave syndrome, and that's a condition that's a mental condition that's left over from slavery that causes a lot of black people to have a lot of anger and animosity towards each other, as well as just a lot of dysfunctional relationships, be that sexual relationships, familiar relationships, just very dysfunctional. You know, Dr. Joy DeGrew, she hypothesizes that post-traumatic slave syndrome is what causes Black Americans to be Black Americans' biggest enemies. We are our own biggest enemies, and that's because of the post-traumatic slave syndrome. She also goes over different types of psychosexual traumas that has happened from slavery, and a lot of those psychosexual traumas causes us to continue to be in completely dysfunctional relationships today. And so to kind of go along with Dr. Joy DeGrew, I am going to include Dr. Jane Elliot. And I believe it was like 1965, 1964, she came up with the brown-eyed, blue-eyed experiment. And the brown-eyed, blue-eyed experiment, it was a modern way of showing how ignorant racism is, how ignorant on the surface it is. The experiment basically categorized people according to the color of their eye, and that determined whether they were the superior race or the inferior race. So the people with the blue eyes were considered the inferior race. The people with the brown eyes were considered the superior race, and that caused the people with the blue eyes to kind of see what it felt like to be a minority, because they were discriminated against for something that they had no control over, just like black people in the United States are discriminated with for no control of their own. So I'm gonna close out this video with just Dr. Joy DeGrew and Dr. Jane Elliot. I think these are two people that you guys should really study and kind of get to understand. And I really am very passionate about Dr. Joy DeGrew and the whole post-traumatic slave syndrome. And I really did want to kind of go a little bit more into detail, but this channel is not going to be psychological in nature, and so I didn't really want to go too much into something that this channel is not going to really delve into. This is going to be more of a political. It's going to be more of a political show in nature. So as you guys can see, I have just gotten a ride, and so I want to kind of keep these videos short. And I thank you guys for tuning in. You know, I'm not sure if I'm going to just do video for this channel, if I'm just going to go with just audio only and just kind of have like a black screen or something like that. You know, because you guys already know how it look like, so you guys probably don't need to see my mug anymore on any of these future videos, but you never know. So I'm going to close it out there, and thank you guys very much.